Hi friends, my name is Katie. Welcome to my channel. Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to visit Germany. And at some point in my adult life, I decided I wanted to visit the German Christmas markets. For our 40th anniversary, my husband surprised me with a trip along the Rhine River. Come join me as I share some highlights of our vacation. Every year I carefully pull out the antique German glass Christmas ornaments from a wooden crate that was given to me by my grandparents. I unwrap each fragile ornament and place them on the tree. Visiting Germany has been at the top of my bucket list for many years. Other trips to Europe took precedence based on my travel companions, but let me just say that I feel very blessed to have traveled to Europe at all. This was our fourth trip and our first trip anywhere since 2019. Many of our Christmas traditions have their root in Germany, but many are European as well. German traditions include nutcrackers, Advent calendars, the Advent wreath with the white Christ candle in the center. Germans claim the Christmas cookie as their own custom. Lastly, the Christmas market is reportedly German. Darling wooden ornaments and candle carousels, also known as the candle pyramid, were made in Germany. I hope to see those along our trip. There were other classic souvenirs that I longed to see as well. Cuckoo clocks and barometers were at the top of my list. Before we get to the markets, let's just talk about cruising the Rhine. Chances are you will begin your journey either in Amsterdam or in Basel, Switzerland. We began in Amsterdam. We thought we had 2 days to explore, but in actuality, we had 3, because once we got on the ship, we remained in port for 1 more day. 3 days was adequate to see everything we wanted to see. In Amsterdam, I recommend visiting the Rijksmuseum. If you appreciate art, you will appreciate seeing the Dutch masters. In a complete geography fail, I didn't realize that the Netherlands and Holland were the same place. The name Holland was officially changed to the Netherlands preceding the 2020 Olympics. We saw some beautiful antique Delft at the museum. I immediately wanted to go to the town of Delft. It was a great little day trip by train because it was only an hour away. On the way there, we saw windmills and tulip fields, which crossed those 2 things off of the bucket list. The Royal Delft factory gives tours. We learned about the history and process, but we also got to stand on the factory floor. Of course, they have a little souvenir shop there as well. The flower markets were a must-see sight for me. Market stalls line the canal. It wasn't tulip season, but there were so many types of fresh flowers, Christmas trees, and bulbs. There were a few souvenirs inside the market stalls. Who doesn't love a pair of wooden clogs? Amsterdam is lovely, but it was time to set sail. Aboard ship, we were treated to darling Christmas decorations and customs. We decorated trees for the lounge, which were hideously tacky but wonderful. We put our shoes outside the door and received gorgeous chocolate Sinterklaases. They made it home in one piece, by the way. Our first stop was Cologne, Germany. Cologne Cathedral is a must-see. Once we toured that gorgeous cathedral, we began exploring the Christmas markets. The markets in Cologne were my favorite. There were 4 different market areas. Each area had its own personality. The stalls were a holiday wonder in their own right, even before getting a look at the contents inside. The items sold appeared to be handcrafted. I've been in a lot of touristy towns. These items were unique and special. We were advised by our travel agent to get something when we saw it because we might not see it again in another town. The food and drink were repeated from town to town, but not all of the ornaments.
Come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord.
The next morning, we were headed through the Rhine River Valley. This was the opportunity to view castles from the ship. If you were visiting the Rhine during the spring and summer or fall, you'd be able to view this section of the Rhine from the upper deck, but it was way too cold for us to do that. It even started to rain on us for a bit. Temperatures fluctuated from the lower to upper 30s.
Come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Father, now in flesh appearing, come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him, Christ
Our second stop on the cruise was Rüdesheim. It was a darling smaller town known for its Riesling wines. We went to a wine tasting and shopped the Christmas markets. And finally visited Siegfried's Mechanical Music Cabinet. It is a museum of antique automatic instruments. The next day, we got off the boat at Mannheim and took the bus to Heidelberg to visit a castle ruin. We loved it. The views were stunning. The town of Heidelberg had some good shops. So we did some shopping, walked around, and just enjoyed this beautiful town. The town I wanted to see the most was Strasbourg. Unfortunately, our tour was a 5-mile walking tour. That pace was just a little bit too brisk for me. It was also very cold that day, so I didn't get many pictures. It is called the Paris of the North, and I could see the resemblance. I wish we'd had more time. Our last port was Breisach, Germany. We docked there and boarded a bus that took us into France to visit the town of Riquewihr. It was my favorite town. It was the inspiration for the movie Beauty and the Beast. It was precious with narrow cobblestone streets. I could imagine Belle beneath the clock tower. The sun was shining that day, which made the visit all the more pleasant. The market was not as great as some of the ones in Germany, but the shops were wonderful. My husband wanted to pop into a ceramic shop. I didn't think that was something we could get home, but to our surprise, there was a brocante in the basement. I love the brocantes in France. As I close, let me say thank you for coming along with us. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps my channel. This was a dream come true for us, and we had the best time. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. See you in the next one.